see if it starts streaming. Okay, what we got here? Alright. I guess trade. Anybody else? Can y'all hear me? Let's testing real quick. Okay, what we got here? Yep. Audio's good. Audio's good. I guess trade. Anybody else? Can y'all hear me? Let's testing real quick. Okay, there is a little delay for me getting it back, but it is good. Alright, welcome to the podcast. There is no video in this podcast because my lights in my room are burned out. So, forgive me on that part. So, but we got some things to talk about. What we need to talk about right now is a lot of things going wrong here. And let's start with the recent update. So, Israel has attacked Iran. And this is not no little isolated engagement. This is a all-out attack on their nuclear facilities, and judging by the Prime Minister of Israel, also regime change. So that's something else to develop. So that's something we're going to be watching as this. This is a recent development. It has just literally begun within the last hour, and Israel says they're going to continue this bombardment for days to come. So that's the situation we got there. Also, now let's go on into our second topic and our main topic of tonight's discussion on this first episode of this podcast, and that is Civil War in America 2.0. Well, I mean, if you listen to all the rhetoric, yeah, we have a serious problem here in the States, and that is two political parties that seem hell-bent on killing each other. And that is not a good mix for anybody that lives here, regardless of where you're at. Major protests are planned against the Trump administration this weekend called the No King protests. That will be held on the 14th. That would be in conjunction to the U.S. Army birthday and Trump's 79th birthday. This is basically Trump's been doing a lot of things over the last this last week. He has federalized the California National Guard and sent them to Los Angeles, and has deployed Marines as well. And recently, this is as of the last 20 minutes, a federal judge has ruled Trump is unlawfully federalized the members of the National Guard. So that California did score a actual victory here in the courts. However, Trump can repeal this decision through the Circuit of Appeals Court or the Supreme Court. So we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. This is the whole tension of this is because of a very, very heavy-handed and aggressive ICE raids that have been going on around the country, and basically they don't care about anybody. They're just trying to pick up a quota. So the situation with that is pretty bad because one of my coworkers got snagged up in this situation as well. And I'm going to talk about that real quick. Now, that is a very sensitive subject as well. We don't know where he's at, and he's a hell of a good driver, and he is a personal friend of mine, and I hope that he is okay. And it is very frustrating of how no information has been shared on anything about what or why. And that sucks because he's one of the best drivers on the Greenways crew, and he will definitely be missed. And this also really alienated me against the entire Trump administration's agenda about immigration, because you can't be doing that. I mean, let's be honest. You cannot be doing that. That is, I understand you going after a person that's a criminal or something, but when you're going after just hardworking people and everything else, you're wrong. And both political parties are just so at each other's throats and so ready to fight, and this Saturday could be the spark of something even a greater conflict. And there's even worse part is because there is an active insurgency going on as well. Now, this isn't a. These are well organized professional rioters. They are going into these protests and trying to hijack them and cause more damage than they're actually. The protesters are actually trying to get their message across. So this is something that's been confirmed both by Gavin Newsom's California administration as well as Trump's administration, have both commented on the matter. So, and the realization in Los Angeles is kind of interesting, given what's going on because is the whole city rioting? No, most of these people are pretty peaceful, and obviously there's this group of insurgents that want to raise hell, and they're the ones that are actually been attacking the police and National Guard units that are defending the federal buildings. Garbage trucks, Garland, welcome. So the situation is just not. It's very volatile, and people are very nervous and very scared. If you haven't been paying attention to that, so we want to be very careful about misinformation. There's a lot of fear mongering going on the internet. I want to cover on that point. And there are people that are stoking the flames and trying to provoke this even further. Like what happened today, we saw political theater. We saw a California Congressman, I think it's Padilla, as how you say his name. He's from the Los Angeles area. He went into the DHS press conference in Los Angeles and raised hell on purpose to provoke a political theater response, which obviously, being a Democrat, he was backed by Newsom, and all the other Democrats obviously fell in that, as well as Republicans criticized them for it. That is the situation of the bizarre world that we are currently living in. And this is very volatile, and this can explode at any moment. So, my advice is this. Be aware of your surroundings, and try to be peaceful, and get away from any type of problems that may develop, because there is so much tension right now. And that takes us into our next subheading. We're going to talk about this plane crash in India. Plane took off. It was a Boeing 787. Took off was bound for London, got in the air and immediately called a mayday and crashed into a medical college or something, I think, as well as a neighborhood, and all but one passenger survived. Excuse me, no, I said that wrong. The one passenger was a sole survivor of the crash, and it's pretty nuts. He's lucky. Mark, welcome in. So, yeah, but this Air Indian crash did kill hundreds. I think about 10 people were killed on the ground, about 50 were injured. I think that's what the last numbers I heard. But this one man soul survived, and according to a report I did read, he basically survived because the plane disintegrated around him, and somehow he didn't get killed. Somebody's watching out for that guy, that's for sure. New update on the current situation with Iran. Apparently, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps commander was killed in an Israeli airstrike currently, and a massive attack is still ongoing. Yeah. Sacramento waste trucks, hello there. I did, but Trash Dude, I will reiterate that. Yeah, they came to his residence yesterday, and we have no information on him. We don't know where he's at, and that's the scary part. And as far as we know, he was in good standing with immigration, so we don't know why they picked him up. And this kind of goes on to the Trump's heavy-handed approach with immigration right now, and this is what's causing a lot of the backlash into the protests, as well as the political firestorm that is just going on in this nation. So, yeah. So, he was... Alexa, turn off. Interrupting my show. No. They basically came to his house and basically held his family and made him come home from work, and then they took him. At least that's what I didn't understand. Like I said, I don't have much information on it. I just know that he's not with us and nobody's been in contact with them. And it is it does remind me, and this is like when people talk about, oh, they just snatch you off the street and take you. Well, literally, that's what they did. They came, took him, gave no explanation why, left. So, yeah, it is, and that's not a fear mongering thing, that's just what happened here. And like I said, he was in good standing. So I don't understand why they do that to him. And this is obviously repeating itself across the country. I mean, today they raided a facility in Omaha, Nebraska, that again everybody was supposed to be in standing as well. And let's just say Trump's making a lot of enemies right now. Trump is making a lot of enemies, especially when now everybody's actually seeing this, and this wasn't just political rhetoric from the left side of politics in the state of country. Garbage trucks, Garland. No, he was not involved in a protest. Man was a Trump supporter, to be honest with you. So he was actually against all these protests and everything else until obviously what happened. So yeah, that situation was not good, guys. I mean, and it really, I felt bad, really bad personally, having this happen, because there's a difference when you see these things on social media. You see these things on that are like dreamed up. It looks like they're ballooned for clicks and everything else, and it turns out it actually is not. It was not, and I personally dismissed it as political noise because there's a lot of that. And yeah, ICE is way out of control right now, 100%, and that's a problem that obviously is what's provoking the responses. And honestly, it's dividing our country. It's turning our country into they're acting like they're authoritarian and not a republic. And that's the thing, is what we are. We are a republic, not a democracy. Like everybody loves to say democracy, but we are a constitutional republic. Democracy means majority wins, and that's not exactly how our system works. So, yeah, and I still got people that are working within the federal government, and they are not pleased with the situation at all. Trash Dude Reed, well, looking at it at face value and seeing the tactics and the behavior and what's going on here, Trump's trying to provoke a fight. At least that's what his administration is. I can't speak for the man himself, but the administration's aggressive tactics, basically, they're not going after just criminals. They're going after people that pay their taxes, people who are in good standing with immigration, and it's all for quotas. And they're using the military on civilians. Let's be honest about that. So let's go into that. So the Posse Comitatus Act prohibits the use of the U.S. military on basically civilian law enforcement duties without the Insurrection Act being invoked. And that's what they're doing. I mean, there's pictures of National Guard troops protecting ICE agents during these raids. Like, okay, yeah, they're not physically doing the raid themselves, but they're still providing force protection. That's still in violation. And it's just sad. I mean, it's sad because the soldiers are just following orders, and now they're being pushed into a position too. We're all getting pushed into a position we don't want to be in. And it's really coming down to that point where, in talking to my colleagues and everything else, this is really going to force us to choose sides, is what it seems like. And does not seem no end in sight, and it looks like it's just continuing to escalation. We're in patterns of escalation, and it's just, yeah, it's sad. I mean, let's be honest about something. I'm gonna speak on this. America's not perfect. We have our problems. We beef with each other. We're like siblings. We get into it. We don't agree with every little thing, but this is the greatest country you can be in. Outside, if you do any of these things that some of these protesters are doing right now and everything else, that's an American thing. You do this out here in Russia, they will literally put a bag over your head and you end up in a gulag somewhere. North Korea, they'll obviously just shoot you. And a lot of it's just like, I never thought, because again, I witnessed 9/11. I witnessed the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan as I grew up in that era. And back then, America was very united. I mean, that was the thing. Now it's we just fell apart, and it's just pretty bad. You should work in LA sanitation in the West Valley district. Well, generally speaking, LA's too big for me. I'm gonna be honest about that. And on top of that too is, yeah, you couldn't pay me $1 million to live there. I just, yeah, too much problems there, in my opinion. But no, so that's the situation right now. What we're dealing with. Yeah, housing especially expensive in that part. But yeah, our over. But yeah, coming back to our thing though, it's like we have to work together on this. We're not enemies. I mean, let's be honest, y'all. We're not enemies. This is wrong on so many levels. Yes, we need to, of course, as a country, you need to have a secure border, and you have to have a secure immigration policies. That is true. But what the administration is doing, I'm going to be the one to go ahead and say it. What they're doing is wrong. It is wrong. Illinois Garbage Truck, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. We are discussing the current situation here in the States. So, big protests. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of people will take to the street on Saturday. And these aren't just one side or other. These are a bunch of different groups. And, yeah, it's pretty bad. No, let me read the comments. Garbage Show Garlands. ICE. I don't know. I can't explain why they're doing it. All I know is they're, like, right now today, I saw the report here in Sacramento. They are arresting people at their immigration hearings. They took a whole family, kids, into custody. And these are people who are trying to do it the right way. Sure, okay, we had millions of people cross the border illegally in the last administration. And that's because of where it's at. They're not arresting them for that. Illinois garbage trucks. We're up in Sacramento. We're in the northern part of the state. There's nothing going on here, and they're just taking these people up. I mean, one of my coworkers got picked up, and he was in his truck. And again, that's the situation that we're doing. They're heavy-handed tactics for some reason, and like I said, I can't explain it. It's just, it really phantoms me on that matter. And okay, but we gotta explain that too now. So I see some of you guys talking about the burning cars and everything else. Those are insurgents. Those are not most of them are not migrants. And there's a group that's actively coming into these protests, and this has been happening too. They're guilty of there is an organized insurgency that is working against. Basically, every time there's these protests like this, social justice protests, they come in, and they're coming in with riot shields. They're coming in with gas masks and helmets, and they're using tactics. They're using radios. This is confirmed information both by the state of California and the federal government that there are these people doing this. And that's the thing. It's very frustrating. Yes, it's the same thing. It is just like the BLM situation where there's these paid aggressors that are coming into these protests to provoke the police, to provoke them to do a heavy-handed. Now, my personal speculation is this is basically a socialist insurgency that's trying to provoke a revolution. That's what I think they are. I'm not sure who's funding them, but somebody got deep pockets is funding them. And yeah, so I don't know exactly what is caught. Like I said, I don't know who they're affiliated with, but it's obviously there. If you watch the videos closely, you'll see especially that's one thing about I could say social media is covering this, but he was not. No, they showed up at his home and they forced him to come home. He was not in his garbage truck when they snatched him. So, but this group shows up and like this is social media. This is the beauty of social media right now. There's so many streamers down there, and they are able to catch this stuff on video, and even the mainstream media is catching this on video. They come in the late afternoon into the early evening hours, and they come in just to provoke. And that's it. That's what they do. They come in to provoke the police, to do these heavy-handed attacks, to attack the protests, and to rally the protesters up. And if you pay attention too, it's the same thing to looters. The looters will come in, opportunists. These are most likely, or I'm pretty sure this is organized crime people doing this. They'll come in to these protests, and when it pops off, they go running and grabbing and they loot. They loot the electronics store, they loot the liquor store, but they never touch the bookstore. Because, yeah, books aren't worth anything, apparently. So, that's, again, our current status situation. And it's sad because, again, it's not a black and white situation right now. It is a really gray situation because there's so many different groups involved now. And, yeah, it's just where we're at right now. Crazy time we're living in, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy time. And so let's talk about this new podcast. So this is kind of going to be I'm doing the live stream right now for this podcast and everything else, but I am going to start posting these type of podcasts on the web page here, on the YouTube page, and it's going to be in this format. I'm not going to do any video or anything else because I'm having issues with my lights in my room and everything else, and you know, we got to be respectful here. We trying to be legit. So every color's getting deported. Yeah, everybody's getting deported. That's true. But not so. Back to what I was saying. Well, you distracted me. So I'm gonna try to do one of these videos and give you guys some updates on what's going on around obviously around the situation, because this is a very volatile situation and there's so much noise, there's so much bias. So I'm gonna try to bring you guys legitimate situation and be cool. Yeah, maybe I am next. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll just be walking to my truck and they'll throw a bag over my head. Next thing I know, I'm in Guantanamo. Can't say. Garbage Trucks of California, welcome. Welcome to the podcast. So, yeah, I'm going to try to get one of these, try to at least have one of these podcasts out once a week. I mean, this is going to be like I said, this is going to be how it is. I keep getting distracted with the chat. But this is going to be a news information I'm going to do to talk to you, explain to what's going on around the situation. Because like I said, there's a lot of misinformation going around on social media, a lot of noise, and a lot of fear mongering. So I figured, well, I got contacts inside so I can get some inside scoops about something, at least confirm what's real and what's not. So obviously we're going to be following more on this Israeli-Iran war that just broke out. Obviously we're going to be following the civil, let's call it what it is, a civil unrest. And we're also going to follow up on any other newses that come up and everything else. Obviously I will be keeping, if I find out any information, what's going on with my coworker that's not sensitive and close to him, I will bring it to you, obviously to you guys on this new platform to try. Again, we're going to try to let's bring some common sense instead of, because let's be honest, we in clickbait land, this is the generation we live in, is everybody exaggerates a lot of things, but there's a lot of things that are happening now that are very scary times, and it's worthy truth. So now let's talk about a little lighthearted things and not the dread of what's going on in this crazy world. So the channel. Now what else we got? Well, today I actually created an X account or Twitter account. It is Trashman Matt YT. That's my handle. I'm gonna be I would use that for. I'm not gonna use. It's not gonna use that immediately right now, but I am planning to use that as basically to share pictures and just help get the channel out there so we can grow some more. And I am also probably going to be going into another channel. I did create a true social account to keep tabs on Trump, or at least his rhetoric, because right now it is worth keeping track of what that guy is saying. Even though half the time it was bullshit, but you know, he is a president, unfortunately. So, yeah, and that's where we're at right now. I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna do an Instagram or TikTok or anything else. Well, TikTok, maybe I'll work on that this weekend, but we'll see about that. So, also, we do have our rodeo coming up. So, our rodeo is in September, and hopefully, well, I'm hoping for give you guys a little update on the move situation. I'm hoping to try to make it to spring of next year before I have to go. Question, okay, Trash to read. The command SST, basically, she drops down at an angle, and a lot of times when I was driving it, the arm was smacked the ground. So, and it works like it has a Heil dual pack body. So once the arm kicks up, as I press a button, it'll shake the arm. But I'm gonna be honest, like, yeah, it looks cool and all, but it's really a bad arm design. That's why they got discontinued so quickly. I mean, it just wasn't. It's just not a good arm set. And other than that, the truck was okay. I mean, it's a Peterbilt and it's a dual pack body, so it packs anything you throw back there. So, but that's my comment on that. Yeah, I might do TikTok, but then again, I am kind of slow, so it'd probably take me forever to figure out the Chinese buttons. So, might do yeah, that's basically it. The Python and wrapper rails, yeah, they're running. Actually, 48 got redone. Dual packs are still there. I think they're gonna have the vote for the citrus contract probably in January, I think. So we'll find out about that. I'm hoping to be there for that because, yeah. And let's see, Python arms. Yeah, Pythons are cool to look at and everything else. But when I drove that Python, the 2 days I drove it, it sucked. That arm sucks. I mean, at least I couldn't figure it out. But 48 is running in Citrus Heights. Sack Waste. 48 is running in Citrus Heights. The 2524 AMRAP Mini is still on commercial. I don't know what's going on there. That's just what's happening. Wacard and Citrus Atlas. Oh, Atlas is getting that. Okay, there might be some vandalism. I'm just saying. Atlas would just pay the city council members again. Well, I don't know. Atlas is pretty broke right now, so I don't think they can afford that. They kind of bit off a bigger piece than they can chew when they took on Rancho. Garbo Filmer 18. Hello there. Welcome to the podcast. You filmed the mini on Tuesday, Sack Waste. Nice. 2419 has been decommissioned along with 24. The other auto reach. Both auto reaches are discontinued. Yes, 2419 was a good truck. I did drive it, and everything else. I personally enjoyed it. But the fun fact about that truck is it was what do you call slippy fingers? A couple of times the can was too heavy. I had to quota at least 3 cans would fall in the hopper. Could county get the contract back for Citrus Heights? Probably not. County is pretty expensive operation. It is, yeah. Yeah. 2419 Garbage Trucks California was in Citrus Heights for a while. I actually had that truck when the Corrado Can 2471 was down for the count. So it's just, yeah. But yeah, it just got bad. Actually, county, we actually might take some stuff from county. I mean, what I heard is Republic is trying. It's hard to, you know, they're trying their hardest right now, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. I know West Sac is up soon, and I know there's that. I know we're wrestling for YOLO or Yuba City in Marysville. I know we're trying to get that from Ecology, but I don't know if they're going to get that or not. But again, it's still just yeah. Um, for the ZR, Trash Do Read, the blade actually drops down and runs basically past the hopper to push the load back. That's usually during operation, but obviously when I go to dump, I can push the blade all the way out to the back of the door. Um, Folsom, I know Folsom last year came and got a quote, but again, I don't know when their contract's up and everything else. And city contract, I know there's well, obviously Sac City is also in the hole $60 million, and I heard some rumors about them probably contracting a couple of their sections out, but that's a major thing. So it's a major union over there and everything else. And I mean, they're a big union. I got some people that work there, so it's there's a lot more moving parts involved with that. Yeah, county is going to get really swamped because basically, so if you were to go down Elk Grove, Florin, and Watt Avenue, right there between Elder Creek and down to Calvine, they're building all that area up right now, and there's like I think they said they're gonna put like 60,000 homes in between us, our transfers out on Elder Creek to also Rancho Cordova right there. So county's gonna have a lot of things. All that farmland's becoming homes. Sacramento is becoming just like the Los Angeles area. Homes, sidewalk, and homeless everywhere. And nothing you can't afford a damn thing. That's the reason why I'm actually being forced to transfer out of the state. I'm not sure where Waste Management or Lodi actually how far they come up here, but I seen some of the stuff when I was doing front load along the river, but that's also close to Waste Management of Woodland and Yolo County. But I do believe there is a strong chance that when the West Sacramento Yolo County contract comes up, there's a good chance that we might take that from Waste Management, because my understanding is Waste Management wants that out. But again, speculation, rumor mill. I hear a lot of rumors, but can't say they not true or not. I know Recology is trying to push their way in, and I know Atlas is. Well, I think Republic underestimated Atlas. Now we got some other issues going on, but I know County is maybe looking to offload some of its less stuff because obviously they're expanding rapidly. Yeah. Who's doing Harold? Garbage trucks of Garland. The Command SSTs are in the not in Elk Grove, but they are in Citrus Heights service. One runs on actually Citrus Heights trash trucks route on Greenways, and the other one's on the trash route. I don't know where it's at. And yeah, I will be moving to Missouri, and like I said, I'm gonna try to make it to next spring before I actually have to move out there. So I'm gonna try to at least finish the season here, and yeah, it's gonna be this whole move and everything else. Like I said, it wasn't. Explain that real quick. Is that wasn't a this wasn't a just decide decision or like I hate California. I really don't. Um, I grew up in the Sacramento area. Grew up here, born and raised. So, and obviously, I don't agree with everything that's happening here. I don't agree with a lot of the politics here or the extreme cost of living that just happened. That's just happening and everything else. And yeah, that's just all it is. But I have family in Missouri. Cost of living is reasonable. The job pays compared to, even though it pays less, but the cost of living is so cheap out there. It was, yeah. I mean, the cost is, it's, yeah, like you make less out there, but because the cost of living is so cheaper, it's, I can live with more, with less out there. That's actually very weird. Financial reasons, Garland. It's really what it all is. It's financial reasons. Moab, yes, I was born in the hood. Went to a ghetto high school, got into a fight every day, got suspended 6 times a week, you know. I'm being sarcastic, okay? I didn't actually do all that. But yeah, I did get. Sacramento is pretty much the whole hood. Well, it's not really. I mean, Gavin, yeah, that guy's in love with his voice. But it's Los Angeles and San Francisco. They hold the rest of the state hostage with their supermajority on the political spectrum. So, but yeah, hopefully, hopefully the situation doesn't get too more crazy. But yeah, I'm hoping that my coworker it does come back. I mean, we're all hoping so. I mean, he is one of the better drivers. So, Garland, yes, I am moving, but I'm not moving immediately. I'm gonna try to make it into next year, probably around. Hopefully, I'm hoping for May to make it there last that long. But there's a lot of financial things that are going on behind, a lot of things personal that I am not allowed to discuss on social media. So, dual pack pythons, we have one rental of that, and then we have about, I think, 10 dual pack wrapper rails, maybe. Yeah, Garbage Trucks California got the numbers for you, Nevada Trashman. So, what else we got? We got any new updates? Ooh, oil spiked 8%. Gas is going up. Okay. We got some updates here from. Hold on, I'm trying to get the page to load up. Imagine filming in LA sanitation. Honestly, LA is one big ass place, and most of the confrontations are only happening in downtown, which is about 1 square mile, when you compare the city to 512 miles wide. So it's not bad. Okay, Trump administration responds to the order from the judge to defederalize the California National Guard. He says he's appealing the ruling and they will go to the Supreme Court if it's not blocked tonight. Yes, there is Republic of Missouri. There's actually several sites in Republic of Missouri. And yes, I will be transferring. Garbage trucks in California, I think you are counted by 8 states. I mean, we haven't conquered Canada, we haven't conquered Greenland or Mexico yet. Governor Newsom says judge waiting to see if Marines actually deploy to Los Angeles before he issues an order. So yeah. National Guard will return to the governor's order on Friday. And that's from CNN. I swear to God. Newsom and Trump's rhetoric alone will trigger a civil war. We didn't need ICE to be doing this crazy shit. Misclicked. Yeah, that's okay. You know, we all have fun here. We got 6 pythons in Henderson. They were in over order from a yard in California, so they sent to us. Nice. Yeah, the pythons. I mean, just to be fair, we have 3 different lines of collection. So we have trash, recycle, and green waste. If it was like one can services, like something like they do out in Missouri, it's 1 can, I believe. Then the Python arms are really fine for that. But driving a diesel, yes, I will be driving a diesel again. Both the Equinox SD, Freightliner, ZR, and the Mack Labrie were both diesels. And honestly, so far, I mean, the Mack didn't turn good, but its arm, the Labrie body, and everything else made it so easy, though. The length of the arm was 12 feet. So when you watch the videos, and if you want to go back and watch those videos, you will see how far I can be. I can be in the middle of the court and still reach and grab something. Sorry, scammers. I got no money for you. Sorry, my phone was ringing. I forgot. Let me put that on mute. So there is that about the Labrie. That was actually really good on. I did like the Labrie better. The Renault 520 new way turning radius sucks. Yeah, that driver sucks too, though. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm kidding. $24.99. Well, I know it's inbound. I don't know when it's gonna show up, but I did get confirmation it is on its way. So right now we have 24.89, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 that are here right now. We are just, we're waiting on 99 too, but I guess it's, what's screwed up? I gotta share this because it's gonna be funny for you guys. So 89 through 96 all have red dot secondary air conditioners on top of the cab of the Peterbilt 520s. But 97 through 99 does not. And you know the answer I got? And I think it's a joke, but it's an answer that I got. It's because they spent too much money ordering 6 more electric trucks. Is 88 assigned? 2488 and 2487 are both Citrus trucks and ZRs. 98 is not assigned yet. It's not out in service yet. It's still waiting for its paperwork. I'm surprised Trump hasn't tried to deport it yet. Oh, the electrics have been breaking down every day. The heat, it's been getting up to the high 90s and low 100s, and those damn things don't work. Anaheim and Grenada got a Python mouse contract in Florida. Yeah, Southwest, catch that. Try to get that one. Sack waste, I do not know. I know there's 6 more electric trucks coming, but I don't know what numbers they're going to be in. Yeah, because my understanding is the 2500 series, these EVs, all came from the same batch. So 5 of them went to like Fremont, and then 5 of them came here. I don't know exactly. That's what I'm told. But the reality is I'm gonna reference a Star Trek Ferengi thing. Hear all, trust none. Trashmaster 406, welcome. Yeah, so because again, there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of mystery and anything else. It's crazy. Rodney was like, "My truck's fine, no breakdowns." Yeah, and I mean, if you watch the video where you saw me talking to Kula, he was yeah, that was funny, and he came up to me. That's why I told him he should have bought one of the CNG ZRs when he had the chance, but instead now he's stuck with basically a Duracell battery that he has to run on the treadmill to charge. Let's see. Waste Management has a ZR McNeil's filter. I have footage. Nice. Trashmaster, yes. That's the same models that we have at our yard. 28 by 10 through 25, 14, I think it is. Seems like they're sending too much electric charge to the yard. They seem to be in a rush to get all EV. Those trucks won't last 100 no matter weather. Yep, I agree with you 100%. Pride Disposal has a silo? Really? You got that on video, Sideways? Because I am interested to see that. Yeah, I went by Needles, California. Properly named when I was on vacation. I mean, yeah, that place was not good. Small areas, one good. Yeah, nice so far. Yeah, I heard that both Fairfield and Fremont have these EVs too, and they're breaking down just as much as ours. And I mean, that's close to Bay Area wise, so that temperature doesn't get too hot. So I don't see why it's gonna. Needles has a cold cart variety. Yeah, but I guarantee there's a lot of needles in it, pun intended. I mean, come on, lad. I mean, you've seen that, right? That place is a dump. Well, that will be a problem. Garbage Trucks, California. Nearest store is 30 minutes away from hell. The place where I live in Missouri is probably gonna be like an hour for me. And the thing is, I gotta be dodging tornadoes, hail, ducks, geese, ice, you name it. Bullhead Republic? You sure it wasn't Bullshit Republic? Who said that? Who said that? I'm kidding. Oh hell no! You could not pay me enough to go down there and do that. If I went down to San Diego, I'd be living in TJ. I'm just saying, cheaper. But yeah, so let's get into what else we got going on here. The Voltra CNG. I mean, it'd be no different than the ZR. I mean, it'd be no different than the Peterbilt 520 ZRs. Oh, and we did some. They got the approval to do some maintenance on the trucks, so my truck now turns just as good as the auto car. What else we got going on here? Let's see what we got. Hold on. I'm gonna Google something real quick. Did anybody go to Waste Expo? Anybody here go to Waste Expo? Waste job. What we got? Oh, you should hear when the yeah, yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, originally I guess they were trying to get auto cars for us, but I guess it was too expensive. Notable waste of sack comes in 2025. What we got? Greedy ass people there. Mojave, please elaborate. Greedy ass people. Yeah, I'm not paying no $20 to read your article. You can get out of here. Does it have a governor on it? Yeah, it does. But it's I can drive 55 on either side of the vehicle if I wanted to. Yeah, most likely. All right, waste today. What they got? What are they talking about? Integrating AI into the waste industry. Yeah, I saw some videos from Waste Expo. Apparently, McNeilus is coming out with a AI arm and an electric arm. What do you guys think about that? Waste Connections is headquartered in Toronto. Wow, I didn't know that. Let's see. Industry news. Trying to find something good to read. Yeah, cart seeker technology. That's what they call it. Waste Management opens Arizona transfer station. Okay. CWC expands operations in Phoenix and Kansas. Electrical recycling, nice. Trying to see if anything's good on here. Compost bill seeks to restrict food waste deposits in certain Texas counties. Oh my God, they're becoming like California. They're gonna have a food waste cart. Would I drive a revamp? A revamp what? Because ain't no vampires sucking my blood. They get diabetes. I'm just saying. When you dump the dump cycle sounds similar to the New York song. Our new pythons and have a governor. None of our drivers like it. They will disable it once the trucks run out of warranty. Yeah, that's usually how that works. The new electric arm looks weird. Yeah, I do agree. It does look pretty weird, but it does move. But I'm curious to see how that's going to work on route with people putting their cans next to cars and all this other stuff. Because that's the biggest thing. Like, I don't know why people try to test us all the time or like put their can next to the car. I mean, it's gotten to a point where certain customers, I've talked to them to now, and I'm gonna be honest about this. I'm starting to skip them because I mean, come on, we're all adults. I already told you to stop doing that. I'm not getting out of the truck every time that you want to do. You're the one person on the street that always puts their can next to your car. So, I'll come back when you actually move the next day if I have to, or whatever, to make sure that your can's not next to your car. The drill sound. Psst. At least it doesn't have the ice cream truck sound. 4 hours ago, San Diego leaders approved new trash fees. Now what? That's a funny headline. What else we got? CBS trash collection news. Okay, we'll see what CBS is talking about this week. Group rescues food that would otherwise go to waste. Okay, how San Francisco's trash detectives catch litter bugs. That's interesting. New York to set trash collection process to fight explosion of rats. Well, yeah, all you do is throw bags on the side of the road. Of course, what are you expecting? They got free meal. Come on, New York, do better. Actually, that is one thing is... Oh, what's the question? Vulture wakes me up at 2. Well, maybe not. I didn't see Chops this week, so I don't know. Chops does your route, right? Haley... Well, I gotta Google it. Garland, I do not know that truck. Hold on 1 second. Alright, let's see what we're looking at. You got side loader. Haley will be... Oh, that one? I mean, if it wouldn't work, I might check it. Well, that's because I'm not talking loud enough. Better? Oh, let me turn my... I'll turn it up a little bit. How about now? Is that better? You're funny. I am not going back to waste management. I'm sorry. I'd rather go back to driving buses and work for waste management. Okay. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, so... You like to hear Matt yelling at us. No, you like hear me yelling at you. Better watch it. I'll get my drill sergeant hat out and I'll come down there. Teach you how to drive a truck right. I worked for Waste Management in 2 locations, Grass Valley and Woodland. Grass Valley, I did manual trash with a rear loader, tiny little rear loader, and I had a coworker that we would basically work together on that route, and it was always who you work with is just as much as important as a job because that fool had me laughing all day. So even though we were manually working, we did 400 cans in a day, it still was funny. He was always had me laughing. And it's funny when your supervisor shows up behind you and he's riding on the back of the this is before they took away the ability to ride on the back. And he's sitting there dancing on the back of the truck. And then he waves at the supervisor. Her name was Ashley. She's like, "Hi, Ashley." And she literally walks up to him and is, "Why do I get a call about somebody, dancing on the back of a garbage truck?" And she had her arms across her, and she said his name in the most, motherish tone possible. And all he did was sit there and smile and giggle like a little kid. Tell you. But like I said, he made the day interesting. So. One time you burped in your truck after that Pepsi? Well, of course. Actually, I did that this morning right there in front of the operations manager when we were doing the harassment training this morning. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to share one of the stories of the waste management because it was pretty funny, right? So the route out there is very rural. So there's no bathrooms or anything. So I came around, it's basically it's just us out there, and it's rural, and the rules are different down in the rural area. Just saying. So, he was. I come around I'm picking up the trash and I'm throwing it in the back of the truck because it's a rear loader with a tipper, and I come around the corner and here is my coworker. This is not the same coworker. This is a different coworker. He's basically in between the duels taking a leak. And he looks right at me, and I look at him, and he goes, "Oh, Shocky, you want to see? You just had to ask." And I just looked at him with the most, right. Yeah. Every trash man's the same. We're part-time comedian, part-time driver. Every driver loves to park in my neighborhood. Yeah, you got a nice park. But what else we got going on? Let's see what else. Anything new? The back park. Yeah. Man, I don't know if you guys heard the story. Let's go back to the story about that real quick. So that plane crash in India, right? We have 290 feared dead, and one guy on board magically survived and wasn't really injured. And according to the interview that was on CNN that I was listening to earlier, apparently the plane disintegrated around him and somehow he lived. That man had somebody watching out for him. Jason's Laguna West route. Yeah, might catch him sleeping. Does your yard track the drivers via iPad? Yeah, we have GPSs. They got GPS on the tablets, GPS on the trucks, and everything else. And pretty soon I'm going to have an AI camera that's going to sit there and boss me around the entire time. Because when I did front load, they put those cameras in and everything else. And the funniest thing is, I'm literally I'm stopped in traffic. I'm in downtown. It's rush hour. Everybody's rushing and going and everything else. and suddenly, basically, it says too close to car. Increase following distance. I'm stopped. Yeah, those are funny. Those little cameras are really funny and everything else. And like, there was, it goes off, says put down phone. The guy's sitting eating a burrito. So yeah, I don't like everybody's like concerned about AI. I am not concerned about AI. The damn thing can't tell the difference between a phone and a damn burrito. All right, let's see what we got. What else we got? Stone Lake, huh? Let's let's look, shall we? Stone Lake, Stone Lake. Let's see. What time we got? 8 o'clock. Okay, we good. What restaurants do you go to for lunch break? Taco Bell. And that's just convenient because it's on my route. Most of the time, I bring my own lunch. I'm actually working on trying to get in shape before I get out to Missouri. Reason why is I'm probably gonna join my cousin in volunteering as a firefighter while I'm out there. Let's see, Stone Lake. Where is that? Stone Lake, Stone Lake, Stone Lake. Hmm. But I do like stopping at Dutch Bros and getting coffee. Oh, Stone Lake. Okay. Oh, you're coming. You're coming where I'm at, or around closer I'm gonna be at. Yeah, I'll be up on Four Winds first thing in the morning. Yeah, Taco Bell has okay breakfast. The breakfast wrap that they have is pretty good. Yeah, go to the sushi bar. You'll be behind that blade doing something else. Let's just say that. Yeah, given that we're missing a body on Green Waste now because of the whole incident with ice, um, there's a good chance that we might end up coming to your neighborhood again tomorrow. Garbage trucks of California, or at least we'll be in the vicinity probably. Anybody heard anything on Cal Waste? Anything good? Anything bad? Haven't heard anything from those guys in a while. Southwest, yeah, that's a problem with flying a 738, 787. You know the sad part is I think that's the exact same aircraft that went down in India. What the hell are they doing? You watch LA Dodgers all day. I don't watch baseball. I'll play baseball, but I'm not watching it. Let's see. Free Palestine, your coworker. Appreciate it, Southwest Garbo. Hold on, I'm trying to see what's going on here. So let's do it. Alright. So, yeah, let's go back to get one more recap real quick. Come on. Anything? Any new updates? No. Alright, well, we'll definitely be following the... Yeah. I won't say his name. Do you know who it was? Garbage truck of California? Obviously, don't release his name if you know him. Just let me know if you know it. I am not authorized to say his name. Kenny told you? Mark, yes, I will be moving to Missouri, but I'm trying to hold out till next spring. So hopefully I can go to make it the next spring before I actually have to move to Missouri. Oh, want to point out something too on you guys. So the Republic Services has a safety program for drivers. You get safety points for basically not hitting nothing and being safe at your job. And the rewards on the site are pretty good. They got some drones. They got a GoPro 13. They got a bunch of grills and stuff that's pretty pretty good. Tools and everything else. I was actually surprised that they had such a big thing like that. To be honest with you, because uh, usually just company stuff that they make themselves. So I was actually surprised to see that. And they actually have a bunch of little gift cards too. Like I used my points to get a Apple gift card for $500 worth for free. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah, this rodeo that we have on this, it's going to be in September. I am going to basically film my entire self doing it this time instead of just doing the outside stuff. I'm actually going to wear the GoPro and actually do it so you guys can actually see me fail at it. Actually, no. Now that they fixed the turning radius, it's gonna be yeah, I might be able to do it better. I might order one of the drones though, from my safety points. I should get new safety points in August, I think, and maybe I'll get enough to get it delivered and be able to use it. Get some aerial shots. You know what I mean? Alright, the rodeo will be taking place up in Sunrise Mall. Um, yeah, I'll be at Sunrise Mall. We'll be there. I don't know exactly what time yet, but I know it's a Sunrise Mall. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. What we got going on here? Nice, nice, nice. So, Sacramento or Citrus Heights, California. Yeah. On RS guy, Republic Services guy. Okay. Let's see. Oh, you're from Southern California, right? California's Bay Area. Oh, you're in the Bay Area. Nice. Welcome. Will Stockton be there? I haven't heard anything yet about Stockton. I know that well, we got a lot of drivers now, so I know we have well over almost 200 drivers in our circuit now. Is it dangerous to follow the trash truck and your personal car and filming? Yes, because you are, well, basically you can interfere with us, and then also there's the part about other people being impatient, don't know what you're doing, and accidents happen. Hmm. Yeah. Ooh, it's getting pretty spicy over there between Israel and Iran. Yeah, Israel's just bombarding the hell out of Iran right now, attacking their nuclear facilities and military targets. Their leader of the Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps was killed. Yeah, that's a major war that's breaking out right now. How to make the driver's seat on my bike? How do stay on the sidewalk and stay either in front of the truck or behind the truck. Nice. Just let me. Yeah. Also, wearing a vest helps too. Just don't be close to the arm. I know you guys like so. A little thing, guys. Just to explain, I know a lot of you guys like to get close to the arms to get the good shots and everything else. But do understand there is risks with the arm. The arm is hydraulic, and it has several hundred pounds of force, and it can. I've launched a cart several times into driveways or into onto the grass and everything else. And if someone's there, it's gonna knock you on your ass. Let's be honest about that. And we've had people get their arms completely ripped off because they try to grab the cart while the arm grabs the cart. And it's just do it from a safe distance, okay? That is the one thing I want to be real about, y'all. It's just do it at a safe distance. Try not to be right behind the cart. Either be in front of the truck, like front where the driver can see you, so or behind the truck where you're not, but not on the tail, but make sure the driver can see you. And if you can see the driver in the mirror, he can see you, or she can see you. If you can't see us, we can't see you. You know, and just keep your distance. You know, it's a dangerous people. I mean, this is I think the third or fourth dangerous job in the nation, and people die very easily in this industry. And last year, I think our company had like 5 to 10 fatalities. That was related. A lot of it wasn't related to equipment. It was usually accidents from either the public hitting us or mistakes were made in the shop. So yeah, yeah, garbage truck, California. Yeah, that's why I see you wearing your high vis, and that actually helps. So do wear a vest. Make yourself visible. I mean, that's something I do recommend too. It's just again, just that's just again from a driver's perspective, just trying to explain that to you, because if like we have it. It's called Focus 6. If I hit a pedestrian, no exceptions. I can lose my job. It's plain and simple. Yeah, that's sack waste. It's a little overachieving, but that is, I mean, that is a good idea though, because yeah, things do fly, especially depending on what type of truck you're filming. If you're filming a front loader and this stuff flies out of them, and it's very yeah. It's just you just want to be careful about it. And also same thing with rear loaders. When they're crushing, stuff does sometimes crush and fly out. I've almost gotten my head taken off by a piece of plastic when I was standing back looking over it, making sure it was crushing. So yeah. Do I actually? I do not. RS guy. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with the Richmond yard like that. Other than that, we have two of their old Command SSTs. Yeah, Southwest. That's a better position. Just try not to, like I said, just try not to be right behind the arm when they're grabbing the can, because that's they call it the well we call it the basketball key. That's your the key of the arm. So just try not to be in the key. The strobe lights would be just the strobe lights might be more distracting than anything, but it's not a bad idea. If you want to piss them off, yeah, go ahead, flip them off. Or they might laugh at you and flip you off back, but then don't call and complain that you got flipped off. Because I know you will. Nah, let's see. Hey, listen to this headline: FBI raids wrong house. Supreme Court says family can sue. Yeah, I would want to sue the FBI for busting in my house in the middle of the night. You do that to Kenny. Yeah, we do that to ourselves too. When he's doing silent. All right, what else we got? Any weather fans still in the chat? You guys know Gary England, the legendary Oklahoma meteorologist, passed away a couple days ago. Right, line of fire. Yeah, that's a better example too. But what else we got? So what do we got tomorrow? Tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow, I'm gonna try to film most of the day, but given what's going on, I may not be able to use any of the film because there's been a lot of us are communicating right now because a lot of us are really worried about the civil unrest and political violence that's happening. Obviously, what happened to our coworker and everything else. So I can't. Yeah, I mean that's what's going on. You know what's funny is when I had my window down and I was using the Labrie, I've done that to myself where the leaves got in my or the grass got in my face and I coughing and sneezing, carrying on. Right. You know the worst thing for a driver is when you're going to reach for a can, and suddenly you start sneezing crazy, and then because you sneeze hard, and you jerk the joystick, and you knock the can into the next county. Oh god. Oh, you guys want to hear a very corny dad joke? Matt showing his face on the live stream. Yeah, just not this podcast. I mean, you guys see my face all the time in the reflections on the mirror. So here's the corny dad joke, right? How do you know Velcro's a scam? How do you know that Velcro is a scam? Because it's a total ripoff. There's a few second delay between the chat and my mic, so. Yeah, I know you do. Make fun of me. In the reflection pics. Yeah, I know exactly you do that. Yeah. Well, alright, guys. So. I'm gonna have to go ahead and end this live stream / podcast. It is getting late. I do have one more day of work, and like I said, I am going to file this in. Not this one, but I'm gonna start filing these in on the podcast section of the channel. And again, it's gonna be the same setup that we see here. It's just more audio. We're not doing none of the videos for that, but then we'll be doing also video ones and everything else. So. But alright, guys, I see some of y'all are cutting out of the chat right now anyway. So, have a good night. I will talk to y'all later, and see you guys in the next video.